Oh my god, I looked like a crackhead. What's going on, guys? It's your girl V and I'm back. What's going on, guys? It's your girl V and I'm back with another video. I'm gonna start a car sequel because I feel very comfortable in a car setting saying my little story. Today's story time, as I said in my last video, if you have not watched that, go watch that before you come and watch this because it's not gonna connect. The dots are not gonna align. Does that make sense?
The math isn't mathing.
The math is not mathing. It won't math. The math won't math.
I think you look beautiful just the way you are.
Shut up.
I think you look beautiful just the way you are.
Thank you. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the time that I got kicked. It's a story time about the time that I got kicked out for being on the phone. For being on the phone. Just a regular phone call for school. That is all. As I said in that video, we talked about my beautiful, amazing angel, amazing mother. And now we're going to talk about the devil in disguise. Honestly, all of my friends and the people around in my life are telling me not to air the man in social media and just like make him, you know. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. Because you want to do everything that you did and everything that happened, and then you want to tell me come back home? Bye. In a total of... Basically in a total of so this is just one time out of the 8 to 12 times that I've gotten kicked out in a year or less than a year. I got kicked out for the absolute stupidest reason, so I'm gonna actually create a little series of the story times. So this one was just like one of the first times I've ever gotten kicked out, and it was just the absolute, like, I'll never understand till this day like how it escalated the way it did and like how it got to me on the street, but it did. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get started. Let me just start off by saying me and my father, we had a somewhat great relationship growing up, obviously, as I've said before, and then after my mother passed away, he just completely changed into a whole different human being that I couldn't even recognize. So we already were butting heads on certain things. Like he was just putting unrealistic expectations on me as a 16 or 17-year-old at the time. It was like, you know, like if I wanted to go out, it was like come home by 9 o'clock and parties start at 11. So where do you, like, he wasn't trying to compromise with me. That was the whole problem. No compromisation. Bruh. That's not a word. So basically, I was in first year of university, and basically I could not do my work at home. It was one of those ones where it's like every single time I was at home and tried to do my work, I either fell asleep or I started watching a movie or I started eating or something. So I just knew that if I wanted to get my work done, I would have to sit at the library and do my work. My dad, if I told him class ended at 6 o'clock, he expected me home at 6:30. And it took me like 45 minutes to even get home. So that's another thing. Like it was not adding up in my mind. Like I just didn't understand how he expected me to fly home. This day, sorry guys, I wrote notes again because I be forgetting. But so I told him that school ended at 6 o'clock that day. So he was calling my phone from 6:30, but I told him, I said, I'm going to the library, like I'm not gonna be home till later because I had to. There was an assignment that I needed to get done with my group, my classmates that I had to get done. So we were on the library doing this work. He's ringing me down, screaming at me, telling me you're not at the library, like telling me I'm lying. And honestly, yeah, I did lie so many times, but this time I actually wasn't lying. So it was just annoying me. So I just stopped answering, and I needed to get it done. But at a point, he was like, if you don't come home by like 9 o'clock, you're not allowed, he's not allowing me in the house. And he actually had done that before to me. Like he didn't allow me into the house after I came home past the time that he said. So I'm like, fuck, I have to go. So I left my classmates who were there doing the work that I need to be a part of. I left them and I went home. So he was already mad at me from then. I walked into the house, he's screaming, you weren't at the library, da da da. I'm showing him my notes. He never believed me. So he was already pissed off at me from then. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. 9 o'clock. I came back from school in first year of university at 9 o'clock, and I was getting in trouble for that. So after that, So I had to get that done because it was worth 30% of my full grade. So I had to get that done, and I decided we were like talking in the group chat, and I'm home at this time, so we decided, we're like, okay, let's just like finish it on FaceTime, because the texting wasn't working. I had to screenshot, send, like it was just doing too much. Decided that we were gonna be on FaceTime so we can all just like, it was basically like being in person, right? So we get on a group FaceTime call, and we're all talking, and just, it was actually just work, like genuine work. So we're all doing our work, and he comes in. Mind you, at this time it's probably like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm on FaceTime with these group of people that I don't know like that. They're just my classmates, like, you know. My dad barges into my room. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Barges into my room, like no knock, no nothing. I could have been done butt naked in there, and he could just barge in, but barges in and go and starts screaming like, why are you on the phone this late? Who are you talking to? Like all this rah rah rah. Like it was just crazy to me. Like I'm sitting there in shock. Like I'm like, I muted that. I've never muted a call so quick in my life, you guys. It was crazy, because do you know how embarrassing that is? At my grown big age, my father to be barging into my room screaming, saying, why are you on the phone? Who are you on the phone with this late? Da 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 da. Excuse me? I told him, I was like, I'm like, I'm doing my homework, like that's why I was staying at the library, but he told me to come home, so we couldn't finish it. So I'm like trying to sit there and explain to him like as quick as possible, because this guy's screaming in my face. Like he was not breathing, like he was really just no breath. So I'm over here trying to, like, in the gaps that he was like somewhat about to breathe, I quickly, so I'm like, I'm doing my homework, like I'm trying to explain, and he did not believe me. He's like, you're lying, all you do is lie, you're probably sleeping with somebody. Like, so the man basically called me a prostitute, saying I'm lying and all of this. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my god. So I muted the call, whatever. He did his screaming, and then he left. So after he left, I unmuted, and when I tell you, they were all like laughing at me. It was so, oh my god, thinking about it is giving me PTSD. One of the most embarrassing moments in my life. Like it was just embarrassing to like, it's people that I don't even know like that, and they're laughing at me. Like, you know, it was just so sad. I just at that point, I'm thinking about my life. I'm like, wow, like this is my life. So anyways, they're laughing at me, so I'm trying to like, so then I started whispering, and that's when they started laughing at me, because they're like, what happened? Like, what are you whispering for? Like, and they were basically saying like I got in trouble with my dad, like just making fun of me and like laughing, you know. So I'm whispering, I'm like, okay, so like, you know, like they could barely hear me, which is why they were laughing. And I don't blame them, because I'm thinking about it and I'm laughing now, because I could barely hear myself. So how was I expecting other people to hear me? Mind you, this is 30% of my final grade in law. Like, this is a big fucking deal. So for him to even put me in that fucking position is crazy to me till this day. Basically, I'm whispering, and they're just mad confused as to, they're laughing, but they're mad confused as to why I started whispering, because I was talking like normal, not screaming, but talking normal. Then I'm like talking, like I couldn't even hear myself. So they're confused, which made me laugh. When I tell you guys, I laughed like so quietly. I'm like that. Like I just breathed a little harder than usual breath. When I tell you, this dinosaur, this T-Rex barges into my room, like breaking anything and everything in its way. Elephant, hippopotamus, like, oh my god, it was insane. Barges into my room and tells me, starts screaming, get the fuck, like just basically telling me, get the fuck out, like you're not welcome here, basically. And when I tell you, I ended the call because I knew it was about to go down. Like, did you not hear me the first time? Like, who the fuck are you on the phone with? Da 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 da. Which guy you're on the phone with? And I'm sitting there, and at this point I'm crying, because I'm like, I'm actually doing my homework. Like, what? And then he looked at my laptop screen, and there was nothing on it anymore, because I ended the call because I wasn't gonna mute it. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there because I felt myself about to cry. Like, I just feel like how frustrated I was, you know. So I could just feel it. Like, I could feel the Niagara Falls about to just. He sees my screen that it's empty, and then he just goes even more ballistic. So I guess I can see how it can look, but I'm sitting there explaining to him, like, no, I had to end the call because you were screaming, like, that's embarrassing, whatever. And he's screaming at me, saying he doesn't believe it. I'm telling him I was doing it for homework. I had my notes. You know what's crazy? Now that I'm thinking about it, I had my textbook, my notes, everything out in front of me. So why would I sit there and talk to a guy while having all of that in front of me. Like, I don't, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't add up. It actually doesn't. So I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I'm like, I was doing my homework. He started throwing things, like throwing, basically. Let me tell you guys actually like a quick side note. My dad hated the fact of how many shoes I had. Like, he hated my shoes. Like, he basically would be like, you only have 2 feet, why do you have so many shoes? When I tell you any and every excuse, he would get mad at me. He'd fuck up my shoes. Like, he'd break boxes and pull my shoes down. Like, what the fuck did my shoes ever do to you? I till this day, I still wonder, what did my poor shoes do? Like, I'm gonna see if I can insert like a clip here, but he started pulling my shoe boxes down and, you know, just being dumb. So, and like creating a scene to a point where I had to leave. Like, it was like, I didn't have a choice at that. I thought he was joking, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I knew he wasn't joking, but a part of me was like, haha, April Fool's. Like, he's gonna say, never mind, I'm just joking. Like, you know? No. I had to quickly pack whatever I possibly could. And I had to, and he made me walk out that house. I don't remember. I think it was like probably 12 o'clock at this time, or like 12:30 maybe. I don't remember the time. It was late though. It was late. Because if I came home at this time, it would have been a problem. So you kicking me out the same time that you would have had a problem with me coming in is crazy to me. I will not understand till this day what was going through that bald guy's head. Can you guys imagine? And I got kicked out, and I remember crying very badly. I remember going and sitting on, I had this specific bench in this park right beside my house that I would go and sit and cry every single time that I got kicked out. Because there was 8 to 12 times. I'm gonna write it down and then I'll update you guys how many times for real. At my specific bench. I'm gonna have to go back there one day just to like revisit those times, you know. But yeah, so I sat on that bench and I cried, and then I called my cousin, who is sleeping right here. And I went to her house and slept there because I had nowhere else to go. Didn't call to check up on me to see where I was that day. Didn't anything. Then I told my sister, and then I stayed at my cousin's house for a couple of days, I believe, and then he allowed me to come back, and my stupid ass still went back. But it's also, I know you guys are gonna be like, why did you go back every single time, da da da. You guys have to understand that at the end of the day, that was my father and is my father till this day. But the reason why I never left was because he has nobody else. Like, my mom passed away, my sister has her own life. Like, it was just him and I. So like, I just didn't have the heart to let him go. But like, he didn't give a fuck about me. It was just hard for me to let go, but I finally did. And you guys obviously know, if you guys haven't watched that story time, and the final time that I like let him bitch me around like that and I completely left. I haven't spoken to him in almost 3 years now. And there's tea about him, you know. They always come back, that's all I have to say. But I'm gonna bring you guys on the ride with me through this thing of my life, because you guys are very interested and I would love to bring you guys along with me. But that's literally basically the story time of that scenario, because I was on the freaking phone. This is one of the stupider ones, but there's more reasons to why I got kicked out. So if you guys want to know the other ones, comment down below. I am planning on doing a series, but I don't know if you guys want that, so just let me know. These are gonna be like shorter story times, just very quick and easy, just to get it out there. But yeah, let me know if you guys want the next story time, which would probably be the time that I got kicked out for sneaking out. He caught me with 2 of my guy friends. Yeah, that one was bad. That one was really, really bad, actually. Yeah, so if you guys want that story time, that was kind of my fault. But if you guys want that story time, comment down below. Make sure you comment. Say, yes, we want that story time. And I will definitely do that for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love you guys so, so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Hey.